everybody, we're back, and can you guess which movie we're going to review now? Ninja Turtles. I can't say they're one of my very favorites, but I'm very fond of them and have always been. How about you?
No, I remember seeing the cartoon when I was a little kid, but I was never a big fan of them.
Well, it was more of a boy thing.
Yeah, I would think. Although I liked all the boy cartoons. And of course, I wanted to be April. Of course, not in this movie because it's Megan Fox, but in the cartoon, yeah.
You didn't appreciate Megan Fox's performance?
Not at all. Like, it's not her performance. It's just like I don't think she was good for this part. Like April was supposed to be like really intelligent, and Megan Fox just doesn't transmit that.
Well, I guess I didn't spend a lot of time gauging Megan Fox's performance in this new movie, but I can say that I feel like she did what was called for, and that's kind of how I feel across the board for this movie, is that it is what it says it is, and it does quite a good job of doing what it's supposed to be, and I really enjoyed it. I really did. I thought it was a great movie. I thought it was well put together. I didn't feel like it was, I heard other reviewers say it was really complicated and hard to follow, and that people who weren't familiar with the Ninja Turtles wouldn't appreciate it as much, and I mean, even though I am familiar with the franchise, I didn't get that from it at all. I felt like it was really easy to understand. I felt like it was a pretty solid movie. Like, I thought it was well paced. I thought it made sense. It was funny. And one of my very most favorite things about it is the visuals. Like, during the first one that came out before this movie in, I think, 2014, I loved it every time the turtles were on the screen, not only because they looked really cool, but because they were funny and they acted very much like how I associate the Ninja Turtles with acting. And in this one, we got way more. They were, we didn't clutter up the movie with a lot of busy human work. We got to see Ninja Turtles in a Ninja Turtle movie, and I was blown away. I loved the visuals. I loved the characters. I loved how all their different personalities were. I thought it was it was kind of a kiddie. It had kiddish elements to it, but not too bad. Not enough to turn me off to it. What did you think about the plot?
I liked the plot. Like, it didn't seem complicated to me. Like, I did watch the previous movie like a week before we watched the new movie. The thing with me is that I'm not a fan of the franchise.
Of the what?
Of the franchise.
Of the franchise?
Yeah. So I enjoy it.
All new for you?
No, not really. Like,
because you knew the cartoon.
Yeah, I knew the cartoon. I'm just not a fan of it. Like, I enjoyed the movie. Really cool special effects. The turtles look great. Yeah, the characters, I like them also. Like, Will Arnett is great. He's one of my favorite actors. I think he's really funny, and the part was like just right for him. It fit him like really, really well. But like, yeah, it was, for me, it was just like another Sunday movie. Like, it was okay, but it didn't like excite me as much.
Well, and that's to be expected, like there's certain movies that a lot of people like that I just have a hard time getting excited about. Lots of movies. Like, she loves Harry Potter. I don't have anything against Harry Potter, but I just wouldn't go out of my way to see a Harry Potter movie, or unless of course she wanted me to go, because obviously, as you guys can tell, she sees every movie. that I want to see in the theaters. But I don't feel like I'm dragging you there. I feel like
No, I enjoy it. If I could see all the movies in the theater, I would. Like, I enjoy seeing all
But you
the
wanted
movies.
to see the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Not like. Not like you would want to see a Harry Potter movie. But.
No, of course not. But yeah, I did watch it. I enjoy it. Like my movie ticket was worth.
Oh, it was worth your cost of admission.
Yeah. Oh, the 3D is awesome. Like this is like for a long time when I saw movies in Mexico that they had subtitles. Like the only thing that I saw in 3D were the subtitles. Really. Like I was like, oh okay. Like I went to see this movie in 3D. It cost me more, and then I just saw the subtitles in 3D. But I think they are making like a lot of progress now in 3D movies. But this was just like excellent. Like there's a scene where like there's a bullet like right into your face. That was awesome.
You mean
that I
rhinoceros?
really enjoyed.
You talk.
Like
Did you say bull riding into your
bullets.
face? Bullets.
Yeah.
Okay.
That I really enjoyed.
Bullets and rhinoceroses. A rhinoceros.
You're almost like whoa.
Yeah,
that's
the 3D
cool.
was a step up. Like some movies, like we'll see every movie in 3D if it's available in 3D. But this movie you could actually tell was in 3D throughout the movie, unlike other movies where it just seems like certain scenes, most notably like opening credit scenes, are always noticeably in 3D. But then it kind of goes flat. You know, so I kind of forget that the movie's in 3D a lot of the time, but not this one. This one, it continually did stuff that was noticeable with the 3D glasses on. So that's another bonus for this. I wanted to she's not as familiar with the 90s movies as I am, and I know lots of people disagree with this. I don't care. You know, I'm not someone who's like so loyal to a specific property that I'll let that loyalty ruin my experience of someone new's interpretation of said property. A good example would be Batman versus Superman. It was something other than what I had known about Batman versus Superman, but that didn't take away from it for me because I knew that this was going to be filtered through the people that made that movie and that they had spent a lot of time and energy on that movie. I feel that with this movie too, that you know, there's a lot of people that are going to be completely loyal to like the Jim Henson Muppet Ninja Turtles from the 90s, and I don't feel that's wrong to be loyal to that. But, you know, if I compare this movie to that one, like the first live action Ninja Turtles that came out, I don't think that the original is that much better. To be honest with you, I think there's some really good points. I think it's a little bit slower paced, and there might be a little bit more. I felt like I was more worried about the turtles when something bad was happening to the turtles in that original movie. Like I was more emotionally connected. Could that have been because I was so much younger, too, that it would have impacted me that much more so? That's possible too. There was some emotional stuff going on with the turtles in this, and I can say that one thing that stuck with me, it's a little bit of a spoiler, but it's also in the preview, so I don't feel bad about saying this, is that like when Michelangelo was bummed out about not being able to participate in the world, I kind of felt genuinely bad for him for a moment. Not real bad, you know, but I cared about him as a character enough to feel what he was going through a little bit. So it had that element there, and I wonder if I had seen this new movie as a younger person, if that emotion would have been heightened. You know, if I would have felt even more. So I remember crying when Optimus Prime died in the Transformers cartoon movie when I was a kid. I don't know if maybe I would cry if he died again.
Yeah, I like also that part of like, yeah, I think they're trying to give a message about like it doesn't matter how you are on the outside. Yeah, like you don't have to change, like you just have to like go out however you are, and that was a cool message. I didn't feel it as you felt it. I think because I wasn't close enough to the turtles, but I think it was like a cool message to everyone, to young people, to whoever. Like, yeah, you don't. Like, yeah, you would, if you have the opportunity to change, like, writing your hands, like, would you do it? Like, I don't know, would I be blonde or whatever? You know, like, and no, like, everyone is as good as they are. I like that. It was like, and it wasn't like, I think it was like well inserted into the movie. It wasn't like something that didn't felt natural.
You said it didn't feel natural?
It did feel natural.
Did feel, yeah, I thought so. It wove into the plot of the movie with the purple ooze. There's always ooze. Well, it used to be green. Well, yeah, this was purple. I don't remember it being purple back in the day. But overall, I'm going to give this movie... I was really happy seeing this movie. It hit a lot of points for me. And maybe it was because I was a little unattached that I was just able to thoroughly enjoy it. But it just... based on my movie-going experience, I'm going to have to give it a 9 out of 10. It just... Do I expect, like, Shakespeare from Ninja Turtles? No, but this... It's really... I didn't need anything more than what this movie gave out. And I guess the only thing that would have made it 10 is if... I guess it didn't have me standing up in my seat. There's no part like that where I got so into it that I would, like, had... Some movies do that to me. Where I get so into it, I stand up and I start fighting with the characters or something. So that didn't happen, but other than that, whatever. If you know, maybe other people gauge it lower. They have different types of standards than I do, but I loved it. So 9 out of 10.
Well, for me, that I didn't feel as attached, and maybe that was like a little bit of the problem here with non-Ninja Turtle fans. For me, there was missing like something to feel attached to the characters, and I think it was because of the first movie where the story of how it all happened, like they were little normal turtles, and yeah, like I didn't like that story, and it felt like completely unattached. And but it was a good action movie. So for me it was like a 7.5, just because like, and I'm usually really attached to the characters, even in bad movies.
So you're saying the first movie kind of ruined it for you a little bit, because that was dumb. That was the origin story for the turtles, and the first one was dumb. And you're saying that it was dumb, the origin story?
Yeah, that's what it makes me feel like unattached to them.
Yeah,
so
and since you saw it so close to this movie, it probably affected you more. Where like I can block things out. Like that being said, I think that brings up another point, is that this one is better than the first one. I think it's like way better than the first one.
Yeah, this one was more like an action movie. I liked all the action, and the first one was like they were trying to explain a lot. And they're like, yeah, they were trying to explain a lot, and then they having a conflict, and then put action. I don't know. It was like there was too much color in the first movie.
The first one had good points, namely the elevator scene was my favorite part of that movie. I could watch that on loop. But this one was so much better. I feel like they really listened to the fans. They listened to what people said in reaction to the first one, and they really applied it to the second one. It's too bad that the first one still leaves a stink, apparently, with people. But love this one. I just want to say one thing real quick too. The bad guys. I loved Krang. I loved how he looked. So visually satisfying to watch something so odd come to life on the screen. I think Krang. If you don't know, Krang's a big brain in the stomach of a huge metal robot, and just the detail and the way that thing moved, and the textures that were showing off on that suit and on the brain part of Krang was just really fun for me to watch. And Bebop and Rocksteady. they were funny. They looked cool. They were great to see the turtles fight those guys. It seems like everybody who worked on this movie just did a really great job. So I'm I'm a fan. I hope they make a third one. I totally do, and I hope that they use a lot of the same people who made this movie, because I'm gonna rewatch the first ones from the '90s, but right now I'm saying that this might be my favorite Ninja Turtle movie. Whatever, man. You gotta like, you know, I feel like most people want to hold on to what their ideas of things are, and just you gotta say, this is the Ninja Turtle movie of this time.
Yeah,
so
but
this is what
there
we're looking at.
are young people out there that don't even know about the '90s movies. So
yeah, I think this movie being an introduction for kids to Ninja Turtles would probably get them super hooked. I can think of some young people that I know right now that would probably just adore this movie. I can't see anyone. Well, I guess if you're crotchety, maybe you wouldn't like it. I don't know. Okay. Hey, thanks for checking out our video. I say it's definitely worth seeing in the theater in 3D. The new Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. Please give us a thumbs up if you like the video. Subscribe if you're interested in being aware of when we come out with a new one. We're doing it every week. There's links below if you're interested in seeing any of what I do. I make artwork for t-shirts, and Carla puts all the t-shirts together digitally for everyone to see. So please check those out if you're interested. And thanks for your time.